Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be making an illustration, but a detailed one on how to cut this top, right? I already have several videos on how to make the short pant or whatever you want to pair with this outfit on my channel, but I'm going to walk you through how to make this particular top. Guys, it's very easy to make. So this is what you're going to do. So first of all, like the one in the video has an akara, right? So let's say this is the akara you're using. Maybe you should have like up to 5 yards. That's what I would say. So depending on the length of your top and the sleeve length. So what you're going to do first is you're going to go ahead and fold it into two, right? This is my akara fabric. I'm going to fold. So guys, once you folded it into two, you see what I was saying? The way my akara came, I just folded it into two like this. And once it's folded into two, you're going to take it again and fold it again like this, and then tilt it around. The part with this fold will be towards you, and then the part with the opening will be facing out here, right? Make sure to fold it properly so that the length, this will be able to contain the length that you want, right? So once you fold it like that, you're going to go up to the top here and figure out where your shoulder measurement fits in. So whatever your shoulder divided by 2 is, find where it's going to fit in from the shoulder here all the way down. So mine is probably on this line here. So somewhere here, I'm going to just rule a straight line like this, which is here, right? Just rule a straight line here. And then the next thing I'm going to do is to insert my shoulder measurement divided by 2 here, which is going to be 8. So I'm going to go ahead and mark 8 here. And then after that, the next thing I'm going to do is to, my shoulder divided by 2, my shoulder is 16, divided by 2 is 8. I'm going to come in here, mark 3 inches for the neck width. And then I'm going to come in here and mark 1 inch for the shoulder slope. And then I'm going to insert my armhole length, depending on what it is for you. So yours can be, how you're going to get the calculation is just your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. So let's say you got 9. You're going to come down here and mark the 9. And then you're going to go ahead and also connect this line down to this point. Come down here, this is going to now be your chest line. Insert your armhole divided by, your bust divided by 4. Let's say it's 11, mark it. Go ahead and add like 1.5, 1 inch of seam allowance, half an inch of ease. Once that is done, the next thing you're going to do is to connect the shoulder slope on this part here. So connect the shoulder slope to this 3 inches mark that you made initially, right? Let me keep this line straight. So connect the shoulder slope here, and then after that you're going to remember, right now we are cutting both the front and the back together. Just know that we are cutting the front and the back of the top. So you're going to come in here, mark 1 inch for the shoulder slope, connect it this way, and that is it. So all you have to do at this point now is to mark the length of your top. So let's say you decided to make your top 34 inches, or you're going to add your 1.5 of seam allowance, right? And then you're just going to place your tape at this point here. So let's say I decided to make my top 34 inch. I'm going to add 1.5 to it, so that is going to leave me with 35.5. All I have to do is just to keep moving my tape and marking it at 35.5, just like that, till I get to the end. You see, just like that, until you get to the end like this. So you're going to just keep tilting your tape like this until you get to the end. Whatever the length is what you're going to be marking, right? So let's say I've marked mine and it's somewhere like this mark that I made here. The next thing I'm going to do is to go back in here and give it a curve. And all I have to do now is just to go ahead and connect from here now. You're not going to connect it to the end here. It's going to be too flowy. So try to at least keep your hand straight from your armhole now, because the flare is already wide enough. And then you're just going to try to angle it a little bit from this point now out to the end here. So just try to spread your hand out and connect it to the end, just like that. So that is basically this here. If I cut it out now, is the two, both the front and the back. So just go ahead, take your scissors, start from the shoulder, cut here, cut your shoulder slope, cut the armhole, cut down here, cut to this point, and then come back down here and cut all the way out. That means you've cut the top itself. So I'm going to cut it on a miniature version now and show you guys what it looks like. So guys, just what I showed you before. Imagine this to be my akara fabric. The way I spread it out on the table, I folded it into two, and then I took one end of it and folded it back again towards this direction, tilted it this way, You see, now it's looking like this one here. I'm going to go over to this point here, insert my shoulder measurement, where my shoulder is going to fit. My shoulder divided by 2. So let me bring it down a little bit more. So let's say this is the line where my shoulder will fit here. And then this is my shoulder divided by 2. Came down 1 inch of shoulder slope, insert my armhole, gave it a curve here, just like this. My neck, the next thing here is my neckline, 3 inches of neckline, connected my shoulder slope, and then after that, insert my bust divided by 4 plus my seam allowances, and then I marked it down like this. After that, I determined the length of the top, just like that. Just like that. Place my tape here and mark. So let's say the length of my top is 10 all the way around, just like that. So I've marked my top length here. So all I have to do is just like what I was telling you guys, go ahead, cut off the top part first, and then once you cut it off, you go ahead and cut out the 3 inch of neckline. You see, so this part I cut out is this part here. This upper part is this bigger one. Now you're going to cut it off, and then the shoulder slope, which is here, you're going to cut off your shoulder slope. And then let's say you go back down now and cut out this big part here. So go ahead and cut it off. Guys, I'm not sewing it, I'm not cutting it on my cloth because I don't want the style, you know, so I can't cut everything on my own fabric. And then once we've cut this part, now what we are cutting here is just to go back up here. So go back in here, cut this part, and then after cutting it, you're going to just go ahead and cut out your armhole. Guys, now that I've cut it, so let me show you. So you see, I've cut it out here. So now I'm going to remove this one so you guys can see what I just did here. So this here, all you have to do, once you cut it, you're going to have 2 pieces. So you see, I have 2 pieces here, one for the back here, and then the second one for the front. So what you're going to do is you're going to take one of them and split it open at the center back. So anyone you want to use as the back, split it open. And once you split it open, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to use 1 inch of each side to fold it in. So let's say you're going to just, you know how you hem the end of your clothes, like when we finish and we normally do like 1 inch of folding the end of your clothes. That 1 inch, you're going to use it to hem. Let me keep it on top of this because it's almost the same color as the table. So what I'm saying is, so guys, once you finish, like you have 1 piece, you have the 2 pieces, 1 piece is complete, which is your front panel. The back panel, you've gone ahead and split it into 2, you see. So what you're going to do to the back now is that you're going to take it the way it is and use 1 inch here to fold it. So first fold half an inch and then fold the second one, sew it down. You understand? Do the same on this other side. Fold one and then fold the second one. You're going to set the back aside. Once we've done that, set the back aside, and then the front, you're going to take it and reduce the neckline. So remember, we just did just 1 inch for the neckline, but remember the front neckline is supposed to normally be like 3 inch for the depth of the front neckline. The back is the one that is normally like 1 inch. So go ahead now and cut it even more for the front neckline. Reduce it like this. So you're going back, which is perfect for the back, but the front you still have to bring it down a little bit more. So you're going to go down in 2 more inches because you've already taken away 1, and then go to your armhole and then cut off like at least like half an inch. This will help your sleeve not to bulk up by this armhole part, right? Cut off from the armhole. This is just for the front. I'm showing you the 2 changes that you're going to make on each one. So once it's done, just take it the way it is. Go ahead, join the shoulder to the shoulder, and then you're going to also join the shoulder to the shoulder, just like that. So join this shoulder here, join this shoulder here. Once you've done these things that I just said, now go ahead and join the shoulder of the front, join the shoulder of the back, and then we're going to go ahead and cut the sleeve like this. Just take it, open it up this way, fold it into 2. That way you can be able to contain all the length that you need, right? And then now you're going to go ahead and angle it like this. This way you're going to be able to get the length you want for your sleeve, right? Like this, right? So you even need to move it further. So guys, once your fabric is folded, go ahead and tilt it this way, right? Make sure it's folded into 2. Tilt it this way, and then you're going to go ahead and mark your cap height. So first of all, I'm going to rule a straight line. So let's say I'm going to just mark a straight line at this point here, and then from this point here I'm going to come down 4 inches, right? because remember we're trying to create like a funnel sleeve. Come down 4 inches here from this point. There are different ways you can do this. You don't have to angle it. Some people can still do it while it's straight, so it doesn't have to be angled this way. So you just have to, okay, mark the 4 inches from this point to this point, and then you're going to, from this line here, the first line here, which is this one here, go ahead and mark the length you want your sleeve to be. So let's say you want to work with 24, that's including your seam allowances, which is somewhere here. You can go ahead and mark that at this point here, right? And then you're going to mark a straight line from this point here to this point. Find halfway through, give it a curve above and a curve below. And then all you have to do is just make sure that the width of this line here, the line of the 4 inches, contains your armhole plus your armhole divided by 2 plus like 1.5, right? So once it fits in here, all you have to do is just to go ahead and cut. So you're going to cut it just like that. So cut from here all the way up, and then to this point, curve up, and then here, and then you have your sleeve. So when you do this, you're actually cutting the 2 sleeves together. So when you do this, this is the 2 sleeves, not just one. Guys, a different way you can cut that sleeve, the one I was saying, if you don't want to fold it in form of an angle, you can just take your fabric, fold it into 2. You see, it's like square, rectangle, sorry, just straight like that. All you have to do is just to go ahead, go from the top here, come down 4 inches for your cap height, mark it straight like this. I don't know if you can see that. So mark it straight across like this, and then the next thing you're going to do, come down 4 inches, insert your sleeve, your armhole divided by 2 plus 1.5, mark it here, and then after that, connect a straight line from this point here to this point, halfway through, just your basic sleeve, right? But then the difference here is that you're going to, whatever, let's say this straight line here, if you connect this line straight and go down, let me say you connect this line straight and go down, this is what it will look like. It will look like just a straight sleeve, right? But what you're going to do is, when you fold it, you're going to make sure you have like an extension of 2.5 or so with your seam allowance and everything, or 2 inches. And then what you're going to do is just to go ahead and go from the tip of this point here and angle it out like this. That way you also get like a funnel sleeve too. This one here will save you more fabric, because at the end of the day, the end is still wide open like this. But what you're going to do is come down to this bottom part here, go up by 1 inch, and then blend it into the body of the sleeve. You understand? So go to this point here, come up 1 inch so it's not pointy, and then blend it into the body of the sleeve, and that is basically your sleeve. So whichever method you decide to, so all you're going to do is go from here, cut from this point, go through this angle, down at the bottom, and then up here. And then you have 2 sleeves, and then you have to just go ahead and join it to the body of your dress. So let me go ahead and cut it on a miniature version, join it, and then we'll come back and deal with how you're going to cut your collar. So guys, you see what we're working with here. So this is the top right now. You see this sleeve, this, although this is a miniature version, this is the back. You see it has that split here. So now to get the collar, guys, all you have to do is just to go ahead and measure from one end here and get to the other end. So start from one end, measure the whole neckline. So once you do so, guys, this is what you're going to do. So go ahead and get your fabric. Once you've measured it, so whatever you get, let's say maybe 20, whatever it is, just go ahead, fold the fabric into 2. Don't mind I'm using different colors, guys. I'm just using piece of fabric that I have here. And then once you fold it into 2, fold it into 4. Let me use this side. So you get your fabric folded into 2 like this. So guys, I've folded it now. So let's say you got 20 divided by 4, whatever you got around your neck from one end to the other, divided by 4. So let's say it's 5, or maybe it's 19 that you got, divided by 4, whatever it is, go ahead and mark it. So I'm going to take my tape now and mark that measurement all the way around like this, just like this. From this point here, I'm going to just mark it all the way around, you see. And then after that, you're going to then insert the length of your collar. So let's say it's 2 inches, right? This particular one, guys, if you don't want to do this whole thing, all you can do is just go ahead and just fold your fabric into 2 like this. So let's say you have your fabric like this, fold it into 2 like this, and just join it to your collar straight. It's just that if you do something like this, you might end up with, when it goes round, it might gape by the front. But if you want it to just lay flat like it's built with your neck, and just fall on your neck like this, then you might have to cut it with this way so that it will have some curve to it. You measure around your neck, fold your fabric into 4, and then you're just going to go ahead and then divide whatever you got by 4, and then go ahead and mark 2 inches all the way. So 2 inches for the length of the collar, just like this. There are different ways to do this here. There's one that you can draft on pattern paper, which I can also show you guys. I think I'm going to make a different video for that. So once this is done, all you have to do is just to go ahead and cut here and cut here. You understand? So go ahead, cut this out and cut this out. One is going to serve as our lining, as in the facing, and then the other one is going to serve as the fabric itself. This is what we have here. So this here, you're just going to take it the way it is. If you open it up, like I said, it will be 2 pieces, because one is the facing, one is the collar itself. So the way it is now is going to go around your collar, around your neck like this. So what you're going to do is you're going to take it and then use like 1/4 of an inch to join the upper part like this. So take it here, face the right side to each other, and then use 1/4 of an inch to join this part here. And then once you finish this lower part here, you're going to just take it like that and join it to the lower part of your collar. Remember, mine is a miniature version, so it won't look exactly the same. You can use 1/2 an inch at the bottom and 1/4 of an inch at the top. So join these 2 parts together. Once you sew this here, flip it over, iron it, and then sew this, join it to the bottom. Any excess, you're going to cut it off, right? And then once you do that, you then go ahead and cut your belt. So the belt for this here, you're going to need to cut it in such a way that the end is going to be wider. If you look at her own, you will see, let me move all these things. So if you look at her own, you will see that the end of her belt is quite wide, but the upper part is narrow. So how you're going to achieve that is, let's say this is my Akara now, the way it is, like the whole length is what you're going to need. You see how I folded it? You're going to make sure that when you fold it again, the end is going to have at least 4 inches. So let's say you fold about 8 inches here, like this. You see? And then at the upper part here, you're going to narrow it to about 2 inches. You're going to narrow it to about 2.5, right? So you will narrow the upper part to 2.5 and then blend it into the body of the belt. You understand? So blend it in. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that the upper part of this belt will be smaller, but the lower part is going to have the whole weight. And then when you get to the end, give it that curve like this. Make it have like a slanted end. Don't make it like a square end. Give it like this slanting here so that the belt will have like the design of like, instead of ending as a straight line, like straight like this, it's going to end beveled like this. So that means you're cutting 2 belts at the same time. You're going to join this end here all the way down, and when you come to this part, sew it close like this, and then from this point here, you're going to flip out everything and iron it, and then you have your belt. So once you finish attaching your band, you just take the belt, attach it on one side, attach it on one side, and that is basically it at the upper part of the neck. So let me go ahead and couple mine together, and then I'll bring it back. So guys, the reason why I was showing you that belt is because you have to make it bold, because remember, is when she tied the belt at the back of her neck, and then the excess that dropped at the center of her back helped to cover the whole space in between the back. You understand? So that's why you have to make the belt bold towards the end, but slightly tiny towards the upper part. That's what I was explaining. So you see how this collar is. If you look at it, you see it's facing like this. It's facing inwards like this. That's the whole point of using this method I just showed you. It will help you to not have this gap. So now if I fold this back like this, you see, I know you might be thinking this looks small, but just use the same method I just showed you here, guys, and it will look perfect. So just like that, and then you tie it at the back of your neck, and then the whole thing will just drop. So this is it here. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.